Yesterday morning, Bitcoin grabbed the liquidity down below up to 114,000 US dollars. It seems like that correction is already over and we got this nice V-shaped recovery to the upside. Also, when we're looking on the Bitcoin dominance, the Bitcoin dominance is again falling to the downside, which means also that the altcoins are performing a little bit more better. Also here up to 10% on 𝗕𝗏𝗆 on the daily. And we have definitely also talked about the next trade entries here on Bitcoin. So definitely stick around and let's go. Let's start directly here with our running trades. So on Ethereum, we are kind of very close for our next take profit. So we are bought here in the last major move to the downside a little bit more from our Ethereum position. So sadly, we didn't get our limit order down there. Also on Bitcoin, we used a perfect dip already from yesterday to get in new Bitcoin positions, as you can see it right now here. Our Bitcoin position is still open, running in profit. We are here in profit around, let me see, around, yeah, 20% in profit yesterday. On this major move to the downside, we accumulate a little bit more on the downside, so we get a little bit more better entry price. Next price target for me, 120,000 US dollars. This is where my take profit is sitting here right now. Oh, I can see I have two take profits on the same. Let me adjust this a little bit more to the upside. So we put it like 121. And my total position, I will close here. Also, we can adjust this because, as I told you later in the video, my main target is 130,000 US dollars. So there I will definitely trade also, or I will close my more positions. So let's move the take profit a little bit more to the upside. So next take profit 120,000 US dollars. Later we will go also a little bit more in the charts. So I gave you here in the video a little bit more trade setups if you are not in a Bitcoin position right now yet. And also our link trade from yesterday, which we are also open, are now 50% in profit. So we also get yesterday on the move to the downside a perfect entry over there. Then we dropped a little bit more and we are getting here the next second limit order already. And now we are still up like 50% to the upside. Tomorrow's video we will talk a little bit more about some altcoin position I will give you, but today we will mainly focus on Bitcoin. So let's go directly in the charts. Here we are back on Bitcoin on the 15-minute chart, and it seems like that our correction is still over. We got a nice recovery here to the upside. Even when we're going here on the 15-minute chart, we can see it a little bit more clearly that we are, after having the massive drop to the downside yesterday morning, we went down almost to the wick on 114,500 US dollars, got a huge recovery to the upside, retesting the pocket level again on 115,000 US dollars, and then started the rally to the upside in total over 2.5% to the upside. We already talked about couple of days ago that we have a lot of liquidity sitting down below at 115,000 US dollars, and it was only a matter of time when we're coming back down. That it came so fast to the downside, to be honest, we didn't expect this, but sometimes it's happening, and for that reason we also position ourselves. Even you can see it here. Few weeks ago, we already talking about this very important buy zone between 111 and 114,000 US dollars. Luckily, we don't get touched this level because we saw the turnaround a little bit more before here on this kind of supported area, which is kind of good because if we broke this level here on 115,000 US dollars to the downside, it would be very more ugly for the altcoins. But for all, it's looking still good right now. So for us, it's very important that we are flipping now this next resistance area as we're trading in right now, flipping this into supported area. So kind of when we be real, since yesterday and today, after the big flush to the downside, we're kind of the same price as yesterday night. So there's nothing really changed on this trading range here right now. We can even also extend this trading range around this one. We can also make it not red. We can make it like like this trading range we are in right now. So we are again in our trading range. I'm not that bullish at all right now, because when we are looking here on the 50-minute chart, we are here in a clear uptrend right now. So it seems like we was not able to break this this high here. We broke this high here, but yeah, we didn't break at the next high, so we always get rejected over this resistance line. So for us, it's very important to break this resistance line to the upside before we can position ourselves. So we have two scenarios right now. First of all, we're breaking here higher as it looks right now, getting a proper retest, and then we can open a long position to hopefully get us in a new all-time high. So this is one of our first trade ideas we can do. Price target would be the all-time high. Stop loss would be like, yeah, like in this kind of trading range here right now. And the second entry would be the more risky one. You can trade this all the way to the upside if we're going a little bit more down, testing the end of the supported area of our trading range, and then trade this to the upside. But this one is a more a more risky one, because it could be that we are already falling here a little bit more to the downside, even if we are not expecting here, or not came above our resistance line, which we are lining up here on the 15-minute chart. Our trade setup from the last day is already active. We are still now here in profit, kind of around 1.8% to the upside. With 10x leverage, it would be like 18% to the upside. So congratulations on all who took this trade over there. If you don't know where you can trade, just go in the video description. There you find a link directly to Bitfinex. There you can even go and buy some spot position for your portfolio, and also go here for futures. Then you can also trade on Bitcoins as futures. So the next trade setup would be here around when we are breaking this resistance line to the upside with at least a 1 hourly close. We can also have a look on the daily chart. We can see here on the daily chart we are still in our rising channel to the upside. So the next major resistance line would be coming in here around $130,000. This is definitely one trade scenario. If we are breaking this this high to the upside, or when we're breaking the all-time high to the upside, we can expect our trade target also over there. But when we are also talking about trade targets, we have to look also on the liquidation, because we have now building up a lot of liquidity to the upside, which also remains that our way would be all the way to the upside. At least we can see $121,000, $120,000. There is sitting a lot of liquidity to the upside. When we have a second look on the 12-hourly chart, we can even also see that we are kind of back in a range, as we are trading here in our range right now. So the liquidity is sitting above us at $118,400, which is exactly around the level we can breaking here this resistance line to the upside. And also down below at $116,000, we have also some more liquidity sitting. So it could be already like a quick more flush here to the downside before we go here to the upside. So something also like this could be also possible, and then see the move to the upside. So two trade scenarios we have here. One, if you're breaking here directly to the upside and getting the retest of our resistance line, this would be scenario number one. Scenario number two, we're going a little bit more down, grab the liquidity down there. So we can also mark this here as the next trade setup. The next one would be if we are getting here the liquidity and at $116,000, kind of like here. Stop loss would be here around, I would have a very close stop loss for this one, and trade target would be first of all here this resistance line over there. So here you have two trade scenarios. Number one, you can even remove the take profit over here if we are getting a proper retest and trade this all the way to the all-time high. But at least put your stop loss quite very quickly into profits if we are getting here to the entry level. And the second one is also here our limit order on around when we are breaking here around the resistance line over there in approximately 118 to 118,500,000 US dollars. So this would be in alignment with our next trade setups. And when we have a quick look on the crypto bubbles, we can see a lot of altcoins performing very good right now. Also here on the daily chart, which is the reason because Bitcoin dominance is falling again to the downside. Here it's very important for us that we are breaking finally this supported area down here. If we break this area down here, we can also adjust our paintings right now. Let me mark this correctly. So we got here this retest, and now the next move would be all the way here that we are getting here to the downside, maybe like a retest of the 61 or 60% level, and then see a little bit more continuation to the downside. And if we're breaking here this 60% level to the downside, and if you're breaking here the $60% level to the downside, this is the moment when the altcoin season will starting again. We can also have a look on the altcoin season index again. Altcoin season index again is a little bit more rising to the upside, so we see exactly what we saw in here before. In the last rally, the move to the upside got a massive rejection to the downside, getting a little bit more strange into the Bitcoin, and then shooting to the upside in the main real altcoin season. So my goal for the altcoin season, or where I would take more profits on all my HODL portfolio on altcoins, would be when we're reaching around 75 to 80% to the upside, because this is the reason where we can expect also a massive turnaround in the altcoins. So it's definitely not too late to position yourself in some altcoins. We will talk tomorrow a little bit more of some altcoins. Today I want to only give you a briefly update of Bitcoin, because we saw here yesterday the massive liquidation wick here to the downside, or the liquidation move. So it seems like it's only like a liquidation moves already, nothing what we really have to worry about, because in the bull run it's just normal that we have some consolidations and movements to the downside like this. As we can sort here on the last all-time high, we also get a move from over 5%, over 6% to the downside. Even also here we got the move 3% to the downside on the last. Also here we got now a final move to the outside, 4% to the downside. So it's absolutely healthy that we have this correction here in the coming bull run, because overall, as you saw it here before, we are still here in a rising channel. It's nothing to worry about, even if we are going here and mark this as it is right now. So we have here our supported line already. Even if we are not able to break this line to the downside, would be here around 114,000, 111,000. If we are breaking 111,000, this is the moment where we have to go like a little bit more cautious. Would be a little bit more ugly for Bitcoin, but at least if we are holding now this range here to the upside, we are all fine. So nothing to worry about. Even we have also now here, when we're going here on the 15 minutes chart, yeah, this resistance line over us, so it's nothing we have to worry about. Even if we're going here on the, let's go on the 5 minutes chart a little bit quickly, so we can see it here on the 5 minutes chart. Let me pull out the indicators. We didn't need them, because here we can also see that we are here now getting a supported area also here on the 15 minutes chart. So here, yeah, it's kind of like a rising wedge here. So this is also a next trade setup you can get here. If it's more like a scalp position on the 5 minutes chart, so a very small stop loss here, and to take profit you can trade this here on the way to the upside. So something we can expect here, something like this, as we've seen here before we get the move to the upside. So something like this we can also expect here. So you have like a lot of trade setups for you, even on the 5 minute chart, a very smaller trade setups, like only 1% to the upside. but mainly here on the daily chart, you have definitely some more trade setup. Even if you are in one trade setup, just leave it running as it is right now, move your stop loss to break even. And then you have two next scenarios. One, if you're breaking here this resistance line to the upside, and the second one, if we lose now strength here on Bitcoin, moving a little bit more to the downside, grab the liquidity on $116,000 US. We even have also a second trade setup also. So that's basically all from the video today. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and if you also want to see how you can use the perfect strategy in this bull run, watch the video here, and then we see in the next video tomorrow.